Hello, hello to all of our wonderful peeps who are listening in to the Chaos Connections podcast. This is your host, Harley. I am, of course, joined by the wonderful Rain and marvelous Raven. And today, last week, I hope you tuned in, but if you missed it, I'll give you a quick rundown. Being a working mom fucking blows. Fucking sucks the big one. And this week, this episode, we're talking. See, even the bitch agrees. That's why she's muted now. The not Raven, the dog. Oh my god, my bad, my bad. Okay. Anyway,
I was like, all right, whatever, I'll take it.
I mean, we're all bitches on this podcast, but that's not the point. The point I can't.
It is not often that Harley backpedals.
we need to.
That was adorable.
We need to seriously. We need to reach out to in this moment and have her do audio, but instead of doing "Welcome to the Gun Show," "Welcome to the Chaos," and we need to have that as our badass motherfucking intro. Oh my god! Do you think if we fangirl hard enough that she'd do it? That'd be so fucking sweet. Anyway, all right. Sorry. Wish list, Harley's wish
Yeah,
list.
I doubt it.
From my lips to God's ears. Anyway, today we didn't want the stay-at-home moms to feel left out because, boo,
They already get left out of enough,
right? We see you. We know the struggle. All right, and so today that's what we're going to be talking about. We are going to commiserate about the struggles of being a stay-at-home mom because it is not living the life. Excuse me, I just burped. I hope you didn't hear that.
Bro, I was not a pampered princess.
It is not living the life of luxury that people think it is. All right. So with that being said, let's hear some bomb-ass intros. Don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be stellar. It's going to rock the world.
Woo!
It's going to be rock and roll, and it's going to rock your socks off, and then you're going to come back, and you're just going to, yes, with us. All right, here we go.
Well, hello, darling. Welcome to the Chaos Connections podcast, brought to you by MOC Media and the Moms of Chaos, Harley, Rain, and Raven, creating space for you to learn, thrive, and connect. Y'all have a grand old time. Bye.
Like, oh my god, you guys, this podcast, would you believe it, is hosted by people that are like a little alternative? They've got tattoos and oh my god, piercings. I just can't even. But the colorful language, oh my god, and no filters? Can you just die? Make sure that you really want to be here. Or you can fuck around and find out. Your choice.
All right. So, in case you missed the 3-minute intro, my bad. I'm Harley. I'm long-winded.
The 3-minute intro was because you decided to try to roast Raven's dog, and it came across as you were calling her a bitch. And, then you backpedal, which is freaking hilarious because it's like none of us are going to get mad at being called a bitch because at some point or another, we have been bitches to each other.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have been nothing but angelic to both you bitches. Fuck off. All right. I'm
going to
so
point
hard
out,
to say that with a straight face.
All right.
I'm gonna point out my couch and you, and we thought you were in a coma.
You didn't put me there.
You did not like those conversations. I didn't put you there, but you were almost on your way there.
Indeed.
Anyway.
So, ladies and gents, pause. Ladies and gents, which one wants to say hi?
Oh,
Oh, a special guest.
interesting.
Witchkin one. Hello.
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 Would you like
Sorry.
to give us a brief intro of yourself?
You're Witchkin one.
I'm Witchkin one. I don't know.
What do you like to do in your spare time?
I play games.
What are your goals and aspirations? Tell us. We're waiting on bated breath. I'm kidding. Hi. Welcome to the podcast of Insanity, Chaos Connections, brought to you by Moms of Chaos, Harley, Rain, and Raven, and you're listening in to Witchkin 1, while Dar does the equivalent of a tea bag to Raven's head with his beard sitting as her bangs. This is weird, y'all. This is weird. Oh, it's weird.
It is weird. It's tickling my nose.
Oh, that's weird.
My bad.
The funny part is he couldn't hear you.
Oh, I heard them.
And
I'm sure we will hear more from Witchkin 1 as the podcast, not this particular episode, but the podcast overall progresses.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Also, I will be getting Witchkin 1's Twitch information. If any of y'all want to follow her on Twitch.
Yes, she
and
is
see the
hilarious when she
games.
plays.
Oh my god, I can hear it. Sometimes I can hear her downstairs and she is all the way across the house.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can hear her downstairs because it is freaking hilarious. Especially horror games are so funny.
Oh my god, right?
So
best ever.
I need y'all to understand, okay, audience, listeners, faithful followers, subscribers, whatever, people who are just happening to drop in at this particularly odd moment. Thank you. We are not Raven, Rain, and Harley.
They're streaming, honey.
We are not related by blood. But I'll be damned if we don't see the influence of each other in our own kids. And Witchkin 1, oh, the pettiness is strong with this one. She's so strong with her.
It is.
And she on a game is like me when I'm driving.
Ow.
And it makes me so fucking happy because some little fuckwad was giving her shit and she said, shut the fuck up before I go fuck your dad and become your stepmom. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm giving birth. Oh, it was beautiful. You don't understand. It's almost
one of my favorite threats.
to know how, soak it in. All right. Anyway,
how influential we have been to the next generation.
So yeah,
we also were when we were stay-at-home moms.
Yes. So we're gonna get her Twitch information so that you can listen in and get a glimpse of the pettiness that we have tried so hard to convey, and yet I feel like you don't believe us. So follow that Twitch stream. We'll get it for you.
My kids are savages. Yeah, my kids are savages, and it's quite humorous. When
it's not directed at you.
Yes, exactly. Because when it is directed at you, you just want to like cry.
Okay, that's because.
And I don't cry very often.
Witchkin 2 did almost make you cry. That is very true.
That's because she's an ass.
So
she's an ass, but she's my kid. Of course she's an ass. Right. Look at her parents. It's me and Captain.
You know what though? This, believe it or not, just keep riding the crazy train with us, ladies and gentlemen. You'll learn to follow our train of thought. All right. This actually feeds.
It is all over the place.
This actually feeds perfectly into today's topic because when you are a stay-at-home mom, you're number one. The biggest thing that I struggled with as a stay-at-home mom was having adult connections because you don't get that time
Oh
from
my
work
God,
to
yes.
build interpersonal connections with coworkers. Even if you can't stand the motherfucker outside of the company, it's still nice to shoot the shit and have a work bestie. But as a stay-at-home mom, you don't get that. No, instead, you get
No,
to
your
go
bestie is
a
your work bestie is
2-year-old that
a
doesn't want the
midget that
green
argues
cup.
with you, that argues with you over having given them the wrong freaking cup, and you're then trying to have an intelligent conversation with another adult, which, however that happens, normally it's at the store, and you're talking to them like you're talking to a 2-year-old, and you're sitting there going, "What
You
happened
cannot
to me?"
seem to get yourself into the proper mode of address.
No,
Because I was a stay-at-home mom until Witchkin 2 was 5, pretty much. And yeah, I had very little friends outside of Witchkin 2. You heard me refer to the Amazon. I had, friends that I talked to online that I had from high school, but even then my world was wrapped up in this little freaking
being that
evil
you created.
demonic cherub giggly thing.
Yeah. No, and it
Yes.
sucks. But then on top of that, being a stay-at-home mom, especially during the summer, or man, I gotta give props to the stay-at-home moms that homeschool their kids, because God bless America.
Oh
I
my
could
hell,
not
I
do
don't
it.
know how they do it.
No, I don't. But
honestly, on that one, we should probably get, my mom on to interview her. But she does it as a work from home working mom and homeschools. Yeah.
No, but no,
virtual school.
My mom's an overachiever.
But okay, but still, all right. If you're a stay-at-home mom, but especially during the summer, we've talked about summer the past couple of episodes, because hello,
wear the damn swimsuit.
It's summertime.
Wear the damn swimsuit, but
do the photo shoot.
Also, I will
take a vacation for yourself.
I will put stay at home. Will you?
Oh, if y'all could see them, like their faces, waiting for the other one to pause.
Stay-at-home mom, take an extra long shit, so that's like a vacation. Go ahead, Rain. Go ahead. Sorry, that feeds into a conversation that happened before we started recording that Raven was privy to, that Rain was not. Go ahead.
And now I can't stop laughing. Okay, so we've talked about things to do in summer, and how, being a stay-at-home mom and doing things in summer, finding low-cost stuff. But especially, I know that I don't know where our base is right now, but I'm sure we will grow because we're awesome and you love us. Being a stay-at-home mom in the winter, when you're somewhere where it actually gets cold.
Ooh, that would suck.
Because you can't send them outside to play for an extended period of time. Granted, it is not like your curfews when the lights come on like it was when we were kids. It is, I need to know where my kid is.
Yeah, no,
all of that stuff, but you don't send them out to go play in the snow because it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
And my kid, when we had Snowpocalypse, right before, shortly before I met Miss Raven. Oh, Witchkin 2 was so excited, and she went out and played in the rain, and then she turned fucking purple.
Yeah, no, but seriously, like, I give like all the props to stay-at-home moms. There's a lot more that goes into being a stay-at-home mom than people realize, and even me sometimes, like, I've been there, I've done it, and still, like, thinking and planning for this episode, I was like, damn, like, it's not just committing full-time to being a mom. That's not it. You also need to have like a certain stability with your own personal mental state to know that you're taking care of the kids is a huge contribution to your family. Whereas, like, me personally, like, we've talked about this before, my love language is gift giving. And if I'm not in a position where I can do gift giving by my own funds, then I feel like I'm just a leech. And so on top of the sacrifice of being a stay-at-home mom, because you're sacrificing your professional time, your professional career, you're sacrificing, quite frankly, you're sacrificing a legit social life. Because let's be honest, mommy and me play dates, they're not the same as a girls' night out doing karaoke and getting drunk off a Crown and
No,
Coke.
they're really, really not.
All right.
Okay, so I will say there's a couple caveats to that because mommy and me play dates. I at the time when Witchkin 2 was a wee one and I was trying to find mom friends, which when they're not in daycare or not in school, that is fucking hard.
Yeah, you have to join mom groups and roll the dice. Is this one nice or is this one going to be catty and bitchy?
Right? Is this one going to be a backstabbing bitch, or is she actually like legit cool?
Is this going to be someone who's going to guilt me because I'm not an Instagram picture perfect mom?
Am I going to get judged over the choices of food I give my kid?
So Raven can empathize with this one. Harley, unfortunately, you cannot. Being a stay-at-home mom to a young child on a military base.
Where you're relatively safe, and like the highest speed limit on base is going to be 40, and that's going to be like way away from housing and shit, and you've got parks and shit, but what if it's hot?
I wasn't
What
even
if the
thinking
base
about
doesn't
that.
have a
I was thinking about people and how some of the other
yes, some of the other dependent
military
parents
wives
can be judgy and catty and bitchy.
And I
Or
had
loose and
experiences where it
willy-nilly.
was like,
My bad.
there are some of those too.
Sorry. Sorry.
No, they had.
Saving Private Ryan, more like Saving Ryan's privates.
You're horrible because they actually made that into a porn, and I didn't watch it, but I did see it at the store one time, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm traumatized.
Rule 32.
So therefore, yeah, I know, right? No, it's not it's not
Rule
32.
34?
It's 34. Rule
Gotcha.
34. And if you don't know what that is, feel free to look it up, and then you're welcome, or I'm sorry, stealing that from Raven. No, but there was a baby shower that was a friend of my then spouse. They're in a playful mood, and I've been gone most of the day, so sorry. And I went over, and it was like, cool, I'll get to meet people. The little one, they'll have some little ones. Curs, be quiet. Apparently, this is another side of being a stay-at-home mom. But I went to this baby shower, and it was, playing the games and everything else. And even though I was put together, even though I was, you're doing that interview for the friend thing, it doesn't always work out, because then you still start feeling like, an odd one out when they're asking for you to write down the suggestions for, tips and tricks for the new mom. Yeah, mine they thought was weird, but I'm like, dude, it saved my my sister when she was, colicky and everything else. So you can think it's weird all you want, but it's not. Going back to the witch in me.
Okay, now you have to tell us.
So when like the colicky and the cough and whatnot, you pretty much make a weak tea with a star anise, and it tastes like licorice, but they don't have the response to that as we do, because it tastes like black licorice. You make that into a weak tea, and you still dilute it because it's a wee one. And you give them like an ounce or like half an ounce at a time, so it helps. May have been hiccups too. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up and share that information. It has been quite a few years, as my youngest is 16.
Yeah, I think my advice was always you don't need a bottle warmer. For the love of God, you don't need a wipes warmer, and the diaper genie is a piece of shit. Don't buy it.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that thing sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you have a trash can with a lid.
Yes, and really good trash bags.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, stay at home mom. Stay at home momming. It yeah, no. Like my heart goes out to you, and like truly, like I 100% respect what you do. And
Oh yeah, because it's doing how many different jobs all at once, and you're
yeah,
getting paid for 0 of them, and
yeah,
you get somebody else's bodily fluids all over you all day. That's
yeah.
your payment.
And huge accolades, to the stay-at-home moms for the many hats that you wear. And you know what, it's a trade-off though, because last week we talked about being a working mom, and being a working mom, it's hard because you know that you're missing out on some key memories or whatever core memories from that movie Inside Out. You're missing out on some of those, but being a stay-at-home mom, you get to partake
It
in
almost
those, but
feels like a different level of isolation.
if you're
So
a stay-at-home mom
it's a
and you have a
completely
bad
different.
day, your kids are going to remember mommy had a bad day and she screamed at me when I dropped that cup of full milk after I told her that I wasn't going to, and I emptied the gallon. That's what your kid's going to remember.
And overfilled the cup. So I have a funny story from stay-at-home mom days.
Okay.
I have a lot of them. I'm sure Raven does too. I was on a strike because my significant other did not appreciate things I did and didn't help even pick up after himself or anything like that.
I'm
And
rolling my eyes so hard.
and I'm passive aggressively petty. I'm passive aggressive with how I handle things, or especially back then. I'm not as bad now, mainly because Captain and I talk about stuff.
There is nothing passive about Harley.
No, she's a crazy bitch. Maybe later. But so I was obviously in a depression thing, and I didn't fully know it, and being taken for granted, just fucking annoying, right? So I'm taking a nap on the couch. Like, I'm not napping, I'm dozing napping. Witchkin 2, who has a friend over, if you hear squealing in the background, they're playing in the room literally right next door. Witchkin 2 goes and gets the big ass carton of goldfish. Like the gallon carton of goldfish,
like the Costco size.
Yeah, that was still probably 3/4 of the way full, because normally that would last a good few weeks. And she was so proud of herself. She got a bowl and she came over and she put it on the ottoman, and then she dumped the entire box all over my living room. And when I said that I am passive aggressive in how I do things, I didn't clean it up. I made him do it because I wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, Dar used to come home from work when I was staying home with the kids, and he would look around and be like, "What the hell did you do all day?" And I'm like, "Bro, have you met your kids?" So first I did the laundry, then I mopped. You can't tell because they ran over it with muddy feet. And then I vacuumed, and you can't tell because they squished goldfish in it. And I mean, this whole litany, like everything that you do during the day gets wrecked like 5 minutes later by these little terrors. And so I love really, really good quality chocolate. Like Hershey's can take a dump. I don't give a shit if that's your favorite. Come for me, bro. I'm ready. Hershey's is
They'll
shit.
introduce you to other types because
Yes.
they like
So
bougie chocolate.
I had a box of chocolates put up on a high shelf, the kind of shelf where I needed a step stool to get it.
She is
And
short.
this was my, like, once a week or so I would get a piece. You know, not like I'm going to go hog on the whole box all at once, even though I could have. And after a really stressful day, I went to my box of chocolates to get one. And it was empty. And I looked around. I'm like, no. So, Apprentice 1, come here. Let me smell your breath. Why? I didn't do anything. Just come here. Nope, nothing on him. Apprentice 2, can you come here, please? No. Sweetheart, I need you to come here so I can smell your breath. No. Angel, did you get into mommy's chocolates? Yeah. That little shit had climbed up onto the counter and gotten my box of chocolates and eaten the whole thing and put the box back exactly where they found it. I was so mad because this particular box you could only find in drugstores around Valentine's Day. I don't know why that's where it was sold. I don't get it. But yeah, I think I melted into a sobbing puddle right then. Okay, so Apprentice 1, and he'll tell you himself, so I'm not outing him at all. But he has ADHD, and it is the hyperactive, it is the impulse control. His symptoms started when he was about 2, which was really fun as a stay-at-home mom with also an infant. So you learned really, really quickly that you could never turn your back on that child. I bought a can of spray paint, and it was like, Home Depot was closing when I bought it, so, it's on the kitchen table. Think nothing of it. That child wakes up at 5 a.m. ready to go, and you want to just die. So
you're a morning person.
Because you're dozing on the couch, and you got one ear and one eye kind of cracked, and you're just trying to get just a little bit more sleep. And then I hear this weird hissing sound coming from the kitchen. So our kitchen had white bricks as the floor that had never been sealed. And where we used to live, they called them paver tiles, which is just a fancy way of saying cheap ass fucking brick. That child had spray painted my kitchen with that silver spray paint. On the floor, on the fridge. Luckily, nowhere else. But yeah, you can't turn your back on that kid, even for a second. And so as a stay-at-home mom, I'm breastfeeding Apprentice 2 and changing those god-awful diapers. And Apprentice 1 is just balls to the wall the whole time he's awake, which is, 18, 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can clean whatever you want. It ain't going to stay that way.
So, Gremlin 3. Okay.
They dump flour all over your kitchen at one point.
Probably.
Okay, so Gremlin 3. Sorry.
Gremlin 3. Actually, I got a couple stories. I'll start with Gremlin 1. Gremlin 1. He marked me. All right. This is a fun story. All right. This is also going to date me a little bit. So, back in the day.
You're the baby of the group. Shut up.
Back in the day, Nextel was its own phone service. And then it merged with Sprint.
I remember that.
Right around the time that this merger was happening, Nextel was notorious for having these like sturdy as a brick flip phones that had the walkie-talkie feature. So chirp chirp, and you could walkie-talkie each other.
Hated those things.
So I had
You'd be out in public. Where you at?
So I had one of those phones, and I was living with my parents. I was living with my dad and my stepmom, and so me and Gremlin 1. Gremlin 1
Gremlin
was
one.
a toddler, so he stayed in my room. We shared a room together. So he woke up, and I would let him. He wasn't. My kids are like me in a way, in that when they first wake up, they don't wake up instantly ravenous. Like, they'll wake up, they take a little bit of time to wake up and get acclimated, and then maybe they'll have breakfast. So we were, it was our morning acclimation to being awake and, conscious. And so I would let him play in the room on the floor, and while I was laying in bed trying to catch some last minute snoozes. And my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Gremlin 1, my beautiful baby boy, he got my phone. And I don't know how, but he managed to get into my contacts list, because that phone didn't have a lock, because it was a flip phone. So that phone didn't have a lock. He wound up calling one of my friends. I was in New York at the time. This friend lived in Texas. It's about 8 a.m. in New York. So it's about 7 a.m. in Texas. My friend didn't answer. But Gremlin 1 sees mommy talking on the phone. So he's just garbling and googling into the phone. He wound up leaving the maximum length voicemail for this friend after he called him and the phone rang and went to voicemail. God knows how long he was talking before and after the recording finished. But the recording's done, and Gremlin 1 is doing whatever else he's doing on the phone. I don't know. It's kind of ancient times, so there wasn't a whole lot of riffraff he could get up to. But he got tired of playing with the phone, and he wanted mommy to wake up. So he closed the phone.
Oh no.
And he's kind of he's steady, he can walk, but he was standing next to the bed. He's got his hands up on the bed, and he's just kind of, drumming on the bed and, trying to get my attention. And I'll be honest, I was probably more snoozing than I should have been. He thought it would be a good time to play catch with mommy and mommy's Nextel brick cell phone that was marketed to construction workers because you could run over it with a truck and it wouldn't fucking break. So this poor crux fucking asshole, I love him to death. God bless him. But it's a miracle he lived past this moment. I'm not a morning person. And he woke me up by tossing the phone overhand, full strength, like fast pitch wind up, and pegs me in the fucking eye. He marked me. I had a black eye from my fucking toddler. All right?
Oh my God.
A black eye. I was in college at the time. I had to go to school with a black eye, and people are like, yo, you good? And I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, yeah, what's up? It wasn't
fight.
swollen.
I won.
It wasn't swollen, but like it wasn't swollen bad. Like
it was bruised.
It was bruised. It was bruised though. It was bruised. He got me good. All right.
Dude, so that crazy ass toddler strength. They are way stronger than they look like they should be capable of. And when they're sitting on your lap, facing away from you, and they decide that they want to play teeter-totter on your lap, and they fling themselves backwards with all the strength in that tiny little crazy ass body, and the back of their head hits you square on the nose, and 18 years later, it still clicks when I move it.
I feel like
I saw stars, and I'm pretty sure there were some like definite like curse word symbols coming out of my mouth. I was in so much pain.
I feel like the soft spot on babies' heads is a fucking myth because I've never been hit with a soft spot. I've never been headbutted with a soft spot.
That's probably a
Yes, because they're up here, up in the
They
top,
have one on the
but
top
not in
and
this
on the
back
back.
giant
They
thick
they
ass
have- They have
cranium.
one, there are two soft spots. There's a soft spot at the back at the base of the skull where the spine attaches, and then there's a soft spot at the top of the
With
head
the medulla oblongata.
where the four desos come together and grow together and close. I don't know what the desos are called. Deso is a Spanish word for the thing.
the 4 quadrants, maybe
Or plates.
plates,
I
bone
don't know.
fragments.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Chaos Connection podcast listeners, do you come here for biology lessons? Because I did not fucking know.
Ooh, you totally should, because I have a fantastic skull collection.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
I got to traumatize Rain with it a little bit yesterday, which was funny to me.
Okay, so as it's been stated, I'm a witch. Yay. Great, and wonderful.
No yelling on the bus!
Raven, would you like to say why I freaked out as I'm helping you organize your craft room?
Okay, so I love dead things. I don't know why. There's just this macabre beauty in it, in something's skull or pelt or carapace, and being able to make art of that and like honor that creature in turning it into something beautiful in death is just something that I really fucking love. So of course I have a collection.
Makes sense. And I've also helped add to said collection.
Yes, in fact, she is the one that gave me Fred, my giant beetle, who I love. But so yes, I do have a collection of actual skulls. I've got a coyote, I've got a couple of skunks, I've got
Don't you have a baboon?
No. Oh, are you kidding? That would be so cool. I don't have a baboon.
I thought you had
I have a fox. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
has some birds.
Yes. So they're awaiting their moment of glory when they finally tell me what they need to be and I can turn them into this beautiful art. So they're just sitting on a paper plate as they await their artful
transformation.
And somebody who, I don't know if she wants to be outed or not, so we'll just somebody cut off all of her hair, and she knew that I collected dead things, so she gave me the whole damn ponytail. And it's glorious. And I just had it sitting on this plate because, again, I haven't made it into anything yet, so I don't know what it's going to be. So it's in a holding pattern. And Rain was sweet enough to come over and help me organize the mountains of bullshit I have in here. And when Rain found that plate, I knew what the witchery significance of someone else's hair is, right? You know, I've read books about wizards and witches and shit. I know that they can, in that realm, you know, somebody else's hair can allow you to fuck with them, I guess. But Rain makes this strangled sound and turns around to me, and the plate is in her hands, and she has this horrified look on her face. And I'm like, what? You knew I had skulls. And she had to explain to me the witchery significance of having this shank of hair commingled with all of these skulls, and that was why she was so horrified. And I was just giggling because I didn't think about that.
I was just giggling maniacally. I just
giggling maniacally. She was actually trying to hold some type of composure.
All right. I need to describe this picture. I just picture Raven doing the Mr. Burns. Excellent.
Not quite, but close. Because, like, I mean, this is, I know our listeners can't see this, but this is a 3D printed life-size raven skull, just to kind of give you some scope of how much skullage was on this plate. Because there's, I think both skunks were on it, and
you had like 5 skulls on that thing.
Yeah, I think there's another cat on it. I don't remember it all. 2 carrion crows skulls are on it. And yes, those are legal to possess. Don't come at me for the Migratory Bird Act. I will shank you.
Anyway,
Um,
so yeah, so Rain got a
so
look.
yeah,
Yes.
and
She was almost apoplectic.
I was so I have not personally met the person who gifted the hair, but I do know certain things that I'm sitting there going, this person has had some shit going on, and you put her hair, which is her essence, on dead things. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Well, I mean, we've established that I am quite.
And that's
So
why
much
we're
so.
friends.
So much so. Yes, so
It
much so.
is.
So
Stop
I
putting
am
things that matter on dead things.
okay. So we've established that I am solidly Gen X, right? And the catchphrase that just about every Gen Xer will say all the time, whatever. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have a rather rambunctious toddler. I have a breastfeeding infant who loves to mess with their brother. And we have one car. So that means if I want to get out of the house at all, I have to drive Dar to work with the kids, and then I have to go pick him up with the kids. So we go pick him up one day, and he gets in the car, and he asks Apprentice One something, and Apprentice One goes, whatever. And I look at Dar, and I'm like, he has been doing this all fucking day. Where did he get this from? And I'm in the car with my kids, and yes, I actually said fucking, because I'm not a lady. And Dar just starts laughing. He's like, seriously, Raven? Yes, where did he get this from? He has been saying it all damn day and is pissing me off. Raven, he got it from you. He did not. Raven, you say this all the time.
Wait.
Oh shit, it was me!
I was just gonna say your response was whatever. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Not even
So-
thinking, yeah, just
So, Gremlin 1 started learning to talk, but he was still kind of garbly a little bit. And Mama Harley has a really, really bad potty mouth that would make even the most seasoned sailor blush. And
It doesn't work on Captain.
yes, but there are times that the shit that comes out of her mouth is fucking hilarious. So
Oh my
it's
god, yeah.
funny. It's
Dude,
funny.
seriously, we just need to record her and Captain talking
yes.
because holy crap, they go back and forth, and it's just like,
Oh my god! You know what, listeners? Sign up on our Patreon, and we'll have that on one of the tiers. We'll have a recording of a conversation between Harley and Captain.
It'll be interesting.
Yes,
There
I'm
will
promising
probably
both of you without talking to you.
there will probably be an exchange of good girl and yes daddy to enjoy. You're welcome.
because
But-
it's them.
Oh, you
Anyway.
get to hear it in the wild.
Okay, so
but
by the way, since you promised that, Raven, you get to text Captain and tell him that he gets to do a recording with Harley.
Bet.
Just because.
Bet.
I'll text him
But you
that and he'll
see,
be like,
I'm-
all right, when? What are we talking about?
Right? Like, I'm not necessarily passive aggressive, but I am devious as shit, and I will use just about any means necessary to get what I want. So
But I'm the
I
brat.
got this.
That explains so
Anyway.
much.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
no. We're all brats to some degree. Don't get it twisted. You are just the epitome of brat out of this group.
Yes.
maybe. So, Gremlin 1 was on the phone with a person. Hell, they're probably not going to listen to this podcast. He was on the phone with his dad. And he said a phrase that he had heard mommy say a couple of times, 1,000 times maybe, while driving. And he said this phrase on the phone to his father, and his dad I have the phone on speakerphone because I have a toddler who doesn't understand to put the phone up to his face, and you can't set the phone down and walk away and still have the conversation till the phone's on speakerphone. And his dad goes, "What did he say?" And I said, "Oh, he said trucking fish." I'll let you use your imagination.
How well
And
did that go over?
I mean, he bought it hook, line, and sinker, so it is what it is. I don't know. I mean, he said he
So
bought it. He probably didn't.
In
I
your
don't know. We
youth, you were
weren't
not
on good
going.
terms at the time. I
Speaking
had
of
him in.
toddlers and
I had
phones,
him in my phone. I had him in my.
Oh, I have a story for that.
I had a. I can't. I'm not going to go as far as to say the name that I had him on my. I had him under on my phone at the time, but Gremlin 1 started learning how to read, and he realized that the letters on the phone didn't sound out together phonetically to say dad or daddy or his dad's name, so I had to change it. Yeah. Anyway, so,
Oh,
but
I think we've talked about it. What is my name in everybody's phone?
other mother.
your name is
And
not
Captain
Rain
has
in
me
my
as the
phone.
adult your adult. What is it in your phone?
Your name.
Is it her? Oh,
Oh,
that's
well,
boring.
that I expected. Obviously, it's not going to be Rain, as these are pseudonyms. Anyhow,
Yes.
I don't know. I
So-
have contemplated, for the sake of like streamlining and to avoid flub ups
Right?
during recording, I've contemplated just straight up changing both y'all's names in my phone to
Oh,
your
yeah.
name and profile picture for your avatar.
Like y'all, we'll be having a conference call about business shit because we did form an LLC for this. So we'll be having a conference call talking about actual business shit, and we're still Rain, Harley, Raven, Joker, Captain.
Yeah.
And it
because
cracks me
when
up,
we
but I love it.
Because when we didn't, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
were going back and forth between
Uh-huh.
when we're recording, trying to maintain Witchkin 1, Witchkin 2, Apprentice 1,
Yeah,
Apprentice
our
2,
brains just
Gremlin
could
1
not
through
keep
4.
up.
So we are not spring chickens anymore, and I don't like that fact, but that means mental acrobats that are that intensive aren't going to happen.
No.
Yeah, especially after
So-
working a 9 to 5
Yeah, so-
and then coming and doing this. I love y'all, but my brain power is spent.
Right? Oh,
That's
yeah.
That probably
Yeah,
is
so-
the explanation for half the weird noises and shit that you guys get from me. It's my inability to articulate anything else that's coming out of my mind. Like I don't know.
Because
Okay,
your mouth is
so-
moving faster than your brain.
her articulating things is quite humorous. When she's done for the day, it's like she wants to engage. She has thoughts. They just do not know how to go from thought bubbles to word bubbles on the
Mhm.
comic strip that is our lives.
Indeed.
So, phone story about
So, again, my kids are little. I have a toddler. I have an infant. It is 2008. The job market sucks fucking ass. Our house has lost half its value. My husband's 401k has lost half its value. Could not find a job that would pay more than daycare. And so, fuck it. I'm a stay-at-home mom for the foreseeable future. So, I don't remember how old Apprentice 1 was. He was not quite big enough to fix his own food. But he's always been like on the like high end of the height percentile thing. And it's the middle of the night. At this point, we live multiple states away from my mother. I wake up to the sound of my mother's voice, and I'm groggy, and I look over, and there is Apprentice 1 holding out the phone. He had snagged one of our phones, called my mother in the middle of the night, and she answered because it's the middle of the night and he's calling, and dear God, what happened? He wanted her to fix him some food because he was hungry. Uh-huh.
I'll take the black
Yeah.
eye any day.
Oh, okay. So when Witchkin 2 was little, and this luckily did not happen to my phone. So a friend needed a job, and I was like, okay, I need to get out of the house without Witchkin 2, couple hours a week. Let me go to the gym, whatever. Like I said, once upon a time, I was a gym rat. So Witchkin 2 is over at her house. She lives with her parents, and she was fixing her a snack or something, and she just hears giggling. And my daughter, at this tender age of 2, her giggle is, like I said, it's a demonic cherub. And it is
That is the most apt description of that child.
demonic cherub. And because it's this cutesy little laugh, but it's so freaking evil. Oh my God. And when she still laughs, like full belly laughs, she does still have that type of laugh. It's really adorable. So I know when she's actually really, really enjoying something and not trying to hold that mask of I am mature now. Blech, whatever. I'm not, so I don't know how you are, but okay. So this person goes to see where the giggle is, and she's in the bathroom, and light is coming out of the toilet because she dropped her phone
Oh
in
no.
the toilet.
And this was before they were at least water resistant.
So luckily the phone was insured, because that would have been a bitch and a half to have to replace.
Indeed.
But she learned a very valuable lesson. Quiet, not smart. Have her help make the snack.
Don't turn your back. No, dude. Oh my God. All right.
Kindergarten is like the ocean. You shouldn't turn your back on it.
So, Gremlin 1.
And yes, I got the kindergarten cop reference.
Gremlin 1. I love him. I love him to death. But for whatever reason, he decided that the automatic flushing toilets were terrifying when he was around 5. And the school that he was in actually had it had like a bathroom attached to the classrooms. Like the bathroom was situated between 2 classrooms on the same side of the hallway. So the classrooms this is like kindergarten age, they had easy access to the bathroom because kids can still have accidents relatively easily around pre-K and kindergarten sometimes. So their bathroom had the automatic flushing toilets, and the teacher, I didn't realize that this was a fear of his, because I don't have automatic flushing toilets at my house. And when we're out and about, most of the restrooms that I take him in are women's restrooms, and most of them don't have the automatic flushing sensors. So it's not something that I've had to experience with him. So I went to like an open house or something, and the teacher was showing me that that they had to put a Post-it sticky note over the sensor on the toilet so that it would stop flushing while he was trying to pee because he would get startled and try to run away midstream.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And I'm sorry.
Okay, so we
I'm
shared
sorry to
some
all of our
stories.
male, I'm
go
sorry
ahead.
to all of our male listeners, but there are grown-ass men that have terrible control and aim. So imagine a child, okay, has no control or aim. You know what? I haven't done a pulse check on my son's toileting habits because he's fucking old as shit and it's weird now. But I'm pretty sure that he still just fucking freehands it. All right. But judging by the mess in my bathroom, okay? So yeah.
Okay, so that wouldn't be free. That would be hands free it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. Hands free, not free hand. Whatever. Look, Ma, no hands is what it equates to. That's what it is. All right.
And you have to wonder if that phrase is actually what's going through their head at the time. You have to
I don't-
wonder. So from a very young age,
I'm happy to never know the answer to that.
I know. No, from a very young age, I made sure that Apprentice 1 knew how to clean a toilet, including the floor around it, because no, it's not my fault you got it there. You get to clean it up.
And
Okay.
this comes from her having many a brother.
Ugh.
Can I ask a huge favor of our listeners? And I know we've been talking for a minute, and I think Raven was trying to close us out, and I rudely cut her off because that's what I do because I'm a
You're
fucking
fine.
bitch. So I'm a bitch, and I bulldoze my way to get what I want. I want to keep talking. So but can we get some engagement
Why
on
I'm the adultier adult.
Can we get some engagement on this episode, gents? For the audience, the audience members, not just the gents, but the bents as well, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't know. And that wasn't meant to be offensive, so don't take it that way. I don't know. For everything
Anyone
in between,
that owns a penis.
anyone who pees standing up, okay? Anyone who pees standing
Those
up.
havers.
All right. So
Those havers.
if you're a stander, if you're a stander and not a squatter, how on God's green earth do you get puddles of piss around the elbow pipe at the base of the toilet? What are you doing? That is
Inquiring minds really want to know.
That is not a misfire. That is a aimed shot, and I need to
That
know
is willful
why.
negligence or
Are
weaponized incompetence.
Are you targeting the bolts to the toilet on the floor? What did they do to offend you? Who hurt you? I gotta know. Share the details.
And in that same vein, if you are not a stander and you are a squatter and not a sitter, I got some words for you. Grab some toilet paper when you're done and wipe the damn seat, and don't leave it for some other unsuspecting sitter to find the hard way. And I don't know why you're squatting over a toilet, because the back of your thigh coming in contact with the toilet seat is not going to give you gonorrhea, for shit's sake. Just fucking sit down. Okay, rant over.
You know what? I'm gonna
some issues with that.
I'm gonna keep my comment to myself because I want our listeners to be happy, and I don't think they will appreciate the comment that was coming out of my mouth. So you're welcome for applying the filter, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So
Holy shit! Dude? It is summer. Okay, so when we're
Is it a
recording this,
full moon?
it's the full moon's tomorrow, and today is summer solstice. Which is why I made lemon chicken for dinner, and it was glorious.
is that
Gotcha.
And Witchkin 2 is making bread tomorrow.
does summer solstice have significance with me implementing a muzzle on myself to stop myself from saying something inappropriate? Because it sounds like a once a year occurrence.
No, it may have something to do with you are trying to make changes and you have put a lot of conscious thought into that, and the energy is manifesting into a direction you are wanting to go.
But I don't want to be filtered. I don't want to be muzzled. Gagged
You don't
me.
want to
And
be
sometimes
muzzled.
it's fun. There we go.
Yeah, so I understand that, and I understand that you're probably going to want to go and assault your husband after just saying that. Um,
No idea.
but but having self-control of any description and knowing when to stop is a good thing. You don't want to go all willy-nilly and be like, oh yeah, no, I don't care who I piss off. Because most
I
of the
like
time we
balls to the wall.
really don't care who we piss off, but there's still moments where
Yeah.
decorum is required.
It's not so okay.
Which-
It's not that we care, but we care. You know what I mean? Like we are
Okay.
unapologetically ourselves, but we're still mindful that others need to be unapologetically themselves as well. And if everybody is unapologetically themselves, the people are going to clash. It's different personalities, different people, and that's fine. That's where, when we talked on the first episode, that's where the idea of having a respectful environment comes in, and understanding that there's going to be differing opinions and different personalities. And you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it, but acknowledge it, accept that someone else is going to be different, and move on. You know what I mean? So we don't care, but we care.
Yep.
And if you don't like something that you see, you don't have to sit there and point out and try to convince somebody different. Scroll past. I literally spent way too much time today on the Book of Faces and wanted to go through the internet, the ether, and strangle some of these gatekeepers. And
Yeah.
it was
She did.
gatekeeping over freaking tarot readings, and how
Oh, she was
someone was
pissed.
asking for freaking assistance with how to learn it, what's the best way, how to whatever. And then one of the comments that super pissed me off was, well, if you don't need a book to read it. If you can't read their energy, then you aren't a tarot reader.
Oh, get
no,
fucked with
you
a
have
catfish,
to-
you little bitch. Oh,
right? I
sorry.
was fucking pissed.
My bad.
So I, of course, being the teaching witch that I am, because it's a thing, I was like, okay, so you could do this, and this may help. Good luck. If you want to reach out to me, go for it. But yeah, so yeah, that was one of them, and yeah, there
So-
were quite a few of them. It was bad.
We are contemplating how best to implement some version of a Rain Tarot reading as part of our Patreon. So that is in the works somehow.
Okay, so Patreon is in the works. I know we have said it on a couple of episodes at this point. It will be dropping if it is not out by the time this episode is released. One, call us out on it. Two,
Mhm.
we are working on it. I don't want anything to be released for y'all to go and check out.
Yeah,
and
we don't
not
want to half-ass
be-
it. We want to whole-ass it.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the gamers out there, we're not Bethesda. We are going to make sure stuff is good and how it needs to go.
Good one.
We're
Yes,
we're
so-
trying to make sure, because we understand that Patreon, you're paying money for it, okay? It's a paid subscription. We understand that, we acknowledge that, and the last thing we want is for anybody who chooses to contribute to our podcast and to what we're trying to build and establish. We don't want them to feel shortchanged. We want to make sure that the different tiers on Patreon are fair and
Worth
equitable
what
and worth the different
Yes.
tier charges. So it's not that we're hyping you up to keep letting you down. We really are
Oh God, no.
working hard to try to make sure that what we're putting out is quality. I know that we're putting out an hour a week, and most people are probably like, whoa, whoop-de-doo, what, an hour in a week, so maybe an hour and a half of work. No, there's more that goes into it. This really is a pet project for us, and it's a passion project for me, and I feel okay saying that it's a passion project for Rain and Raven as well. It may have just started out as a pet project, but I think it's grown into a passion project for all of us. And
Absolutely.
so we don't want to put something out that's not quality. And so we
We don't want to
do have
deliver
meetings.
anything that is not worth it.
We do have meetings throughout the week to talk about different topics and to talk about how we're going to approach different things. And quite frankly, we also try to talk about how we can get more engagement from our listeners, because we say it on every episode. We want your feedback. We really want your feedback. Drop us a comment on Spotify. Hit us up on mocmediatx.com. Join us on our forums. We really crave
Socials.
that engagement from you, because number one, it helps to let us know that even if it's a small impact, we're having an impact, that somewhere, somehow this is reaching somebody on some level, even if it's just to laugh at the idiocy of what comes out of our mouths sometimes. That's still helping on some level.
Totally fair and valid.
And also, you know,
If you're the guy,
we're 100% open to suggestions too. So if there's a topic you want us to go over, sorry, Rain, if there's a topic you want us to go over, if you want to hear our input on it, crazy and chaotic as it may be, drop it to us.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that we
Hell
feel that we can give a considerable input on, then we will do it. If it's something that we don't feel well versed enough in to deliver an episode on, we
might do some
Well,
research and find
we-
some experts and some sources.
we might do some
Yeah.
research, or we might get back to you and be like, listen, you know what? This is hella interesting, but I don't feel like I can give it the attention that it needs. Direct me to some resources, and so that I can read up on this and learn about this, or, you know, put me in contact with somebody and we can have a guest on or something. I know bringing somebody else into the chaotic mix, God help them, but you know, we're passionate about this is what I'm getting at. Anyway, go ahead, Rain, and then if you want to close this out.
and then we do need, yeah. So, you know, just to join and laugh, what have you. I do know that we do have some gentlemen listeners that
That is fan-fucking-tastic. I love it.
it is amazing. And I know that we're funny as shit because we crack our significant others up quite often. Most of the time they're wondering what the fuck they got themselves into. But it is also y'all get a look into the kind of the female psyche. We are all batshit crazy. And sometimes you just want to hear the girl talk because it might help something make sense that was super confusing.
Mhm.
And seriously, if you want a girl's input on girls, females, whatever, you want that input, ask.
Yeah, hit us up.
Absolutely. All right.
You know, that kind
But
of thing.
yeah, Rain, go ahead and close us out. And Brooklyn just poked his head in, and he is affectionately come speak into the microphone. Tell him what you call us.
The Moms of Anarchy.
I hope y'all picked up on that. Catch that? He calls us the Moms of Anarchy, even though he recorded Moms of Chaos intro.
It just sounds better when I say it like that.
He
Moms
did.
of Anarchy, you heard? Let's go. Gang.
All right, ladies and gents,
So
that
I
was
do want so
the one and only Brooklyn, the boss.
so. Thank you everybody for joining us on this chaotic breakdown of experiences we've had as a stay-at-home mom, the respect that we have for stay-at-home moms, and mad love, because you're alone more than you realize, and somehow you hold on to your sanity. So props to you.
But you're not alone
And
anymore
I
if you're
hope you
listening to this
tune.
podcast.
Exactly. So we will see you next week, and follow us on our socials, and there may be some surprises that are coming out that we
Maybe
will
one
post
or
on there.
two.
So one or two. But have a great week, and we will see you next week.
Night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Sending you guys some chaotic mama love. Bye.